tightening up your game for the next one you facing. Arkham Athletics, coaching and motivation. DC Armory, May 14th, Throne Boxing. Excellent night of entertainment in the DC area. DC is really on the uprise as far as bringing quality entertainment to the area, especially boxing. We had 3 really good boxing events lately, and last night was one of them. Mike Dallas Jr. came to town to see Dusty Hernandez-Harrison. Excellent fight. I mean, in spots, this was an absolute barn burner. But I will say, there were a lot of spots where Mike Dallas Jr. was putting in far more work than Dusty Hernandez-Harrison was, and his shots were accurate. He's putting together combinations, he's taking angles, he's slipping and dipping when Hernandez did throw shots. Mike's defense was great, his offense was great. Not to take anything away from Dusty. Dusty had his spots where he showed some really good stuff, but overall, every round, except maybe 2, I give 2 of them somewhat close to even, but 8 out of 10 rounds, Mike Dallas Jr., he did what he came to do, what he knew he needed to do. He put a lot of work in, he let his hands go, his defense was up, and he clearly won 8 out of 10 rounds. 2 of them were debatable. 8 out of 10 rounds, Mike Dallas Jr. over Dusty Hernandez-Harrison. Now, being from the DMV, I'm pulling for Dusty like everybody else in the building. The energy was electric in the building last night. Dusty has a huge following. He's over there with Barry Hunter and Boogie Harrison, those guys, Lamont Peterson, Anthony Peterson, the whole Headbangers family. And these guys are out in the community. They're making connections. People like these guys. So that group and the energy in DC was, it was great. And, most of the fans, 99% of them, I'll say 98%, were here to see Dusty pull out a win, and by a landslide. They didn't get that. First round, as Dusty's covering up, it looked like he might have been playing possum, trying to let Mike get his shots off, feel him out, let him land him on his gloves and his elbows. Second round, okay, maybe he's still doing that, and he's pacing himself. By the third round, you begin to understand, okay, I think Dusty is having a little more difficult time dealing with Mike Dallas Jr. than he anticipated. And as the fight went on, it was clear to see that that's what it was. Hernandez went down, I think it was 2 times. Dallas went down once, but it was clearly a slip. And he still got the count, and they counted it a knockdown. And that may have went against him. I don't think it should have swayed the judges anyway. Somebody can make that excuse that went into the decision, because the decision at the end of the fight was a draw. Now, I'll say this. Anytime you have a fighter who comes into another fighter's arena and wins over that fighter's fans, people who love this guy and are dedicated to this guy. Mike Dallas won over Dusty Hernandez fans last night in Washington, D.C. at the DC Armory. That tells you a lot. From where I'm standing at, I got Dusty Hernandez fans all around me, and everyone I spoke to last night felt like Mike Dallas Jr. got robbed. Now, these guys apparently have agreed to do a rematch, and I think that's great. I think the fight was competitive enough to justify a rematch. I don't think there's anybody in that building who wouldn't buy another ticket to see this thing again. This was a great fight, and it followed up an undercard. I think it was 7 fights. 2 undercard fights were televised. Knockout after knockout after knockout, and then we had one barn burner right before these guys came into the ring. Excellent night of entertainment. Shout out to Rock Nation Sports, Throne Boxing, and Big Tigger, Jay-Z, Headbangers Gym, DC Armory, everybody involved with this thing. Shout out to everybody who put this together. This was a really good event. Burke Communications, shout out to them. I would love to see these 2 guys again. I think Mike Dallas Jr. should have gone home with the W, but that's how it goes, which is another situation. How do we feel about these judges who keep getting it wrong? What do we do about these judges that keep getting it wrong? How is it affecting the boxers who are making a career out of boxing, trying to create a legacy, trying to feed their families? What do we do about this stuff? Who can do something about it? This is what we want to know. Who can do something about it? How do we get them to take action? And I'm pretty sure things are already being done to try to alleviate this problem, but judges keep getting it wrong. And as boxing grows, boxing's on regular TV now. More people are getting a chance to see it outside of pay-per-view. The boxers are getting more opportunities because of this. Boxing is on the rise. It's the sweet science. It has a rich history, and we're getting to see more of it again, and it's absolutely wonderful. But we can't sit here and let something like poor judging taint what all of these people have put into the sweet science to bring it back to the place where it needs to be. It needs to be a staple of American entertainment, and we need to fix this stuff.